Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. It's a little after 3 a.m. local time. Happy Wednesday. I hope everybody's having a peaceful, positive, and productive start or end to your day, depending on which way it goes for you. We're going to start out with a scripture and then we'll get into the affirmations for the day. We will start out with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Ashe. I also pray that he clothes us in his armor from head to toe, that he strengthens our discernment and guides our steps as we go throughout this day. Today is Wednesday, August 19th, 2026. Yesterday we read from Isaiah chapter 41. We actually ended up reading 3 chapters yesterday. Gotten a lot better at shuffling this deck, I guess. We got 2. Matthew 5:14 and Deuteronomy 4:9. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:14. I don't know if it was yesterday or not, but there was one day recently where that came up. And then Deuteronomy 4:9. Do not let these memories escape your mind as long as you live, and be sure to pass them on to your children and grandchildren. All right, the one that we're going to read is Matthew 5:14. That's what was on top. And personally, I kind of favor Matthew a little bit. So, although I did enjoy reading from Isaiah yesterday. Matthew 5:14. All right, we'll just start at the beginning of Matthew chapter 5. And seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain. And when he was set, his disciples came unto him. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit. This is the Sermon on the Mount. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall rival you, and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Ye are the salt of the earth. I'm seeing it in my mind right now, the scene from The Chosen when he is sitting with Matthew writing this out. If you have not seen that show, it's good. It puts it in visual form. If you're a visual learner, it's amazing. Okay. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost his flavor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. That's the verse we got for the day. Matthew 5, verse 14. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, yea, shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, Thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, Thou fool, shall be in danger of hell fire. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother hath aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled with thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift. Agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be prison. Verily I say unto thee, thou shalt by no means come out thence till thou hast paid the uttermost farthing. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, Thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. And if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. It hath been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. But I say unto you, that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causeth her to commit adultery. And whosoever shall marry her that is divorced, cometh adultery. Again, ye have heard that it hath been said by them of old time, that thou shalt not forswear thyself, but shalt perform unto the Lord thine oaths. But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne, nor by earth, for it is his footstool, neither by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great King. Neither shalt thou swear by thy head, because thou castest not make one hair white or black. But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay, for whosoever is more than these cometh of evil. Ye have heard that it hath been said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth. But I say unto you, that ye resist not evil. My right ear just started ringing. But whosoever shall smiteth thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also. And if any man will sue thee at the law, and take away thy coat, let him have thy cloak also. And whosoever shall compel thee to go a mile, go with him twine. Give to him that asketh thee, and from him that would borrow of thee, turn not thou away. Ye have heard it hath been said, that thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. For ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven, for he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. For if ye love them which love you, what reward have ye? Do not even the publicans the same? And if ye salute your brethren only, what do ye more than brethren? Do not even the publicans so? Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. And that goes on and on for a long time. And I'm sorry, but I get burnout on the these and the thous and I really get tongue-tied sometimes on it. But the Sermon on the Mount is a good set of scripture to read. And if you have not seen that show, The Chosen, you got to go quite a ways before you get to the Sermon on the Mount in the series. But nonetheless, that's a good part. And going back to the beginning of chapter 5, where he's talking about the salt of the earth. In the episode, when he's preparing the sermon before he's actually giving it, and he's sitting with Matthew, and they're up on the hill alone, and Matthew is helping him record it and write it. He tells Matthew that this is how, when people start seeking him, that this is how they can find him. To seek these kinds of people out, and they will be the salt of the earth. They will help spread and preserve the word. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Seek and you shall find. All right. Woo. I think I went a little cross-eyed there for a second. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hello. How is everybody doing? Would God be cool with me if I was, for the most part, chill, but just a little insecure? Of course. He is with you always. It's just a matter of you seeing him in your life and feeling him within you. Okay, let's get some affirmations for the day, shall we? And once again, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. That came up the other day, and it came up again today. And actually, I watched a video earlier today where she was talking about, like, her video was about something else, but she had a candle, and it was just a little candle. And she kept talking about how much light just that one little candle was putting off. You know, so remembering not to dim yourself for other people. Don't shrink yourself to fit in a room. Sometimes that's easier said than done, especially if it's a habit that you're trying to break. But being confident with who you are, and if you're not really sure who you are, practicing trying to figure it out. All right, let's get a daily mantra. And actually, the mantra that we got was something about fire as well, because I said something about lighting a fire under your butt. I'm the only me I've got, so I'm going to speak lovingly to myself from sunup to sunup. That means extra compliments. Hold the critical anxiety spirals. For real. We don't need any more of that. Let's see if we can get this to sit up here. I'm going to have to get me some more holders for my cards. Yeah. We'll just stick it right down here. Loving yourself. You know, that's something that a lot of us have to practice as well. I talk about it a lot, but I struggle with it a lot also. Not finding your self-worth in other people. Seeing your value just for being you. Not necessarily what you have to offer, you know, whether it's skills or time or energy or whatever the case may be. Using discernment when you're choosing who to share your energy with. Make sure that you're sharing it with people that are reciprocating, not just draining you. I know that's hard, especially if you have, when you have a good heart, you know, when you're a softie, and, you know, when you're able, that's way too many. When you're able to sympathize and empathize with other people. It came up the other day as well. Look at that. Wow. The third and the sixth chakra have really, I mean, I'm pretty sure they've come out every day. Personal power and acknowledged spirit. Acknowledged spirit showed itself the other day, but we didn't actually take it, but we acknowledged it. And then personal power, that was one that actually came out when we got the three, all three cards were third chakra, solar plexus, which represents Wednesday, which is today, represented by the color yellow. And then the sixth chakra, the third eye chakra, represented by the color violet. Acknowledge spirit, trust in a higher source, and I acknowledge my direct connection with it. In the stillness, I listen for the wisdom inside, and I am open to the spirituality that is within and all around me. I know that love is the creative force. I meditate and welcome mystical truths. I am open to seeking guidance in my spiritual quests from a spiritual teacher, master, or guru. And every time I read that, it makes me think of that saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Like, and in reality, most people that we come in contact with that, you know, we give a significant amount of energy to, we're going to learn things from them. There's always something to learn from somebody. Everybody's a teacher and everybody's a student of life. You know what I mean? All right, let's get a grief affirmation. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Let's read the personal power as well. I choose to be myself and to express my truth. I have a positive influence on the people and the situations around me. I allow my integrity and confidence to shine, which instills more confidence and belief in myself and then encourages others to have natural confidence in me. I do not allow my personal power to become egotistical, manipulative, or exploitive. All right, there is no time limit on grief. Healing is not linear, it's a spiral. I will encounter the same wounds many times, but gain new perspective with each passage. So repeating patterns, repeating spirals, you know, feeling like you keep going through the same scenarios, just, you know, it's like different people in different places, but it's like the same storyline every time. You know, kind of like, I don't know why I'm seeing it this way, but like the old Lifetime TV movies where it's like after you watch like two or three of them, you knew what was going to happen at the end because they only had so many different storylines. You know, so it would be, you know, the baseline would be the same, the details would just be a little different, you know? But being able to learn different lessons each time, growing a little bit stronger each time, especially when it comes to our discernment, like being able to spot the red flags, being able to be aware of the signals that your body is giving you when the energy is off, when the environment is just kind of eh. And you can even get that feeling about certain people. Listen to that. A lot of times when we don't listen to that, we wish we would have. Cheers. We are drinking watermelon juice today. I ended up, the watermelon was huge. It ended up making 3 blenders worth of watermelon juice. And it is delish. The watermelon was actually gifted to me by my neighbor, which I thought was pretty awesome of her. All right, let's get a mini affirmation. I possess the qualities needed to be extremely successful. Create a vision board that represents your success and the qualities that will get you there. So once again, visualizing it, that came up the other day. It came up the manifesting and the laws of attraction and that kind of stuff. You know, visualizing it, attempting to feel not only see the vision, but feel the vision. Instead of smell a vision, feel a vision. All right. Let's get a wild offering affirmation, and then we'll get into the big decks. The heavy hitters. Happy Monday. Wow, why did I just say Monday? Happy Wednesday. And you know, I really had Jim Carrey on my mind a lot before I was getting on here. You know, the good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I like saying that, and that's where I get that from. Also, I can't remember what movie it was. He was like a news anchor or a weatherman or something. And he said, and that's how the cookie crumbles. Whoa. It almost fell on the floor. I caught him with my elbow. Being enough and work hasn't been that long. We just saw work the other day. It came out with relationship. Now it's coming out with being enough. Knowing your worth. Look at that. Self-love on the bottom of the deck. Truth on the top of the deck. Forgiveness and impatience also showing themselves. Self-love can be work. It's not always, it doesn't come easy to all of us. Knowing that we're enough doesn't come easy. Yes, it may be the truth. We may know deep down that it's the truth, but it doesn't necessarily make it easy. For a lot of us, it is hard work. The innermost heart says you are enough. Nowhere to go, nothing to get, nothing to change. No need to grow more deserving. You, yes, you are love. I'm now available to receive all who can benefit from my work. Use me to relieve suffering on the planet. May all who need me find me. The divine is my complete source for all prosperity and will provide. Show me how to love myself. Show me how to take care of the inner child. Show me how to be kind within. When you step into self-forgiveness, so much can change on the outside. Wow. First of all, we saw forgiveness. And yesterday we talked about self-forgiveness and how, you know, for a lot of us, it's way easier to forgive the other people than it is for us to forgive ourselves. I know that that's one of my areas of difficulty. But that being said, when it comes to taking care of your inner child, you know, I know when I first started on my healing journey, I didn't really know what that meant. And, you could keep it as simple as doing things you used to like to do when you were a kid. But unfortunately, not all of us have memories to where we remember what we liked doing as children due to trauma and whatnot, where those memories were not able to access. And in those cases, trying new things that maybe you've never tried before, or, doing some crafts, or, you know, going to a park, just, doing something that doesn't require a lot of effort to be fun. Get a coloring book and some crayons, or, you know, I try to keep it simple when I do stuff like that. Do puzzles. A lot of people like to do puzzles. All right, truth. When everything is done as an offering, even the act of speaking, you get shown when to talk and when to be silent. Your words come from silence, not fear. You do the talking, dear divine. Take me over and speak through me. Kind of going back to what we talked about earlier, the lessons learned, being able to share those with people that you come in contact with along the way, along your path. For some of us, that is our purpose, is to, go through what we've been through so that people that come into our lives going through the things that we already went through, we can be that person for them to say, you can try this and you can try that, but, just know that you're not alone, because I've been exactly where you're at. And here I am today. I made it through to be able to sit here and be talking to you. For some people, that's all they need to just get that little, boost, that somebody to light that fire under their butt, is for them to know that somebody truly understands what they're going through, whatever that is. I mean, it could be 1,000 different things. Okay, let's get some angel numbers. Last time, the twos were strong the last two videos. We had 2222, which repeated itself for a second day in a row. And then the first day it came out, it also came out with the card of 22. So 2 is a feminine number. And there was a song that kept coming up in my head, and the title of the song is Beggin', Beggin, and the name of the artist I cannot tell you, but once it starts playing, you'll probably recognize it. But it had literally been stuck in my head for 2 days until I played it tonight before I got in the shower. Baby, I'm begging you. Yeah, I'm not even going to try. Keep going. 938. And positivity. 233. Look at that. We got 2 on the bottom of the deck. Relationships. And 77. Awakening on the top of the deck. The other day we did see just the number 7. So something significant about 7s and 2s. 27, 72. But what actually came out? So that's our backup over there. Positivity and keep going. Joy, hope, compassion, optimism, mindset, spread joy. This card brings a message of positivity and compassion. Reflect on how you can spread joy and hope in your life and in the lives of others. Consider your mindset and how to maintain optimism and hope. In what ways can you bring more positivity into your daily life and the lives of those around you? Perform one act of kindness or share a positive message with someone today. And make a conscious effort to maintain an optimistic outlook in your daily interactions. 938, keep going. Perseverance. We saw perseverance from the affirmators deck the other day. Strength, guidance, resilience, success, and endurance. The angels are proud of your resilience and efforts. They are sending you strength and guiding you through challenges towards success and prosperity. In what areas of your life do you need to keep pushing forward? How can you remind yourself of your progress and stay motivated? Celebrate your small victories and progress. Take one step at a time towards your goals and remind yourself that you are supported and capable of overcoming obstacles. We talked about that the other day, that even if you are literally alone in the physical world, remember that you are never truly alone. Your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, the Most High, they are coming in and out of your daily life all the time. And in some ways, they are still living just through your eyes. Remaining optimistic, having the attitude of gratitude, embracing the relationships that you do have, even if it may be few, helping to awaken the masses, going back to what we talked about learning the lessons and sharing the lessons, spreading the word, awakening people, helping people see the world through a different lens, from a different perspective. No, you can't do it for them, but you can point them in the right direction. Spreading the news. Let's go with the Angels of Abundance Oracle. And remember, having compassion for people does not mean that you need to overgive or enable or make changes in your life to accommodate somebody else. I mean, obviously, don't get me wrong, there are situations with people that you love and people that you care about, your family, your near and dear ones. But if they're not in your circle, just be cautious of how much of yourself you give. Because even if it doesn't start out, okay, if you're in that kind of relationship with somebody that doesn't share that type of energy, and so they do not reciprocate what you're putting out, they don't have a meter that runs out. Like, they'll just keep taking and taking and taking, and eventually you're going to burn out. But the thing about it is over an extended amount of time, whether you or they realize it, they start expecting it because they're so used to you giving it or doing it or providing it or fill in the blank, that when you start seeing, hey, I'm putting in 90% and you're putting in 10%, And, I'm starting to feel a little unsteady about the whole thing. By that point, they've gotten to where they expect you to do the things or say the things or provide the things that you do. Whether that be physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, whatever that is. Just energetically. Sever vows of poverty. Raise or promotion on the bottom of the deck. Block out distractions on the top of the deck. Dear one, there's no need to suffer or sacrifice. Hold the intention of undoing any vows of poverty or self-denial that you may have made consciously or unconsciously in any lifetime. As you do so, all effects of these vows will be undone for everyone involved in all directions of time. So, letting go of a lack mindset, acknowledging that poverty is a mindset. Some of the poorest people in the world are some of the happiest people in the world, because possessions do not create spiritual happiness. They may give you materialistic happiness, but that's only temporary. All right, raise or promotion. Congratulations, an increase in your abundance flow awaits you. This is a result of your positive focus and willingness to take action based on your divine guidance. Keep up the good work. And block out distractions. Your life purpose and other priorities need your undivided attention. So it's time for you to take charge of your schedule and working environment by turning off electronics and avoiding anyone or anything that distracts you from what's important. You already know what these distractions are, and you have the power to responsibly block them out. So, doing some inventory maybe, finding out, being more aware of where your attention is going, where your energy is going. Focus it on yourself, severing the vows of poverty. Like once you do that, the raise or promotion, whether materialistically or spiritually, it's all about our mindset. Blocking out the mental distractions, the background noise. All right, let's, oh, excuse me. Let's take a sip break. I got a backup iced coffee over here. Okay, let's do some nature seasons. And we will review the health card that we got the other day. I'm keeping this one out for a couple days. Water, Yule, winter, and going within. Brain chemistry, number 20. Also a 2 number. 2 and 7, very strong energy this week. Whoa. passion and energy, fire on the cut as we're getting started. So not only did I make the watermelon juice, I made that tonight. Last night I made squash, sweet potato, and carrot soup. I also put onions and bell peppers and some ginger and some other seasonings. But honestly, the flavor of the vegetables all together, I was afraid that I had put too much seasoning in it, but really I didn't. It was all very subtle. I have a bunch of squash that I have to find ways to prepare. So, needless to say, I've been Googling squash recipes. Diligence and cooperation. Purity and tranquility. Bee and snowflake. We have autumn, harvest, and fulfillment on the bottom of the deck. We had that one the other day. Look at that. Gratitude and harvest. Harvest and fulfillment. Autumn equinox and autumn. Yeah, it's just around the corner, man. I've had my doors open all night ever since I got home from work. It feels so good outside right now. Like I can feel autumn in the air. It's just right around the corner. I love it. It's my favorite time of year. Nice. So, snowflake, bee, autumn equinox, and autumn. Diligence and cooperation. That's making me think of the cooperation instead of competition from the Angels of Abundance Oracle. We saw that the other day. That's what that's making me think of. Teamwork makes the dream work. Hard work and spirit of cooperation will be the key to success. Focus your energy like the bee and stay determined. The power of teamwork will bring unexpected results. Believe that collective effort will create a brighter future. What was I just talking about? About spreading the word, waking people up. Oh, autumn is your favorite too? Yeah. And I don't mind the beginning of winter, like that real cool, crisp air. But once the rough winter starts coming in, then I'm over it. I don't like a lot of snow and I get tired of the cold pretty quick. But yeah, I really wouldn't. I don't know. It's a tight race between spring and autumn. I really do love spring too. Everything coming out of hibernation. I don't know. All right. Purity and tranquility. The purity and tranquility of snowflakes bring inner peace. Today is a time to slow down and embrace the quiet calm. Like a snowflake, gently fall into serenity and enjoy the stillness, restoring your inner balance. Look at that. Your inner balance, going within your brain chemistry, your tranquility, finding your peace, embracing those moments of quiet. Because you never know when life might speed up, where you're going to be busy as a little bee. So when you're busy all the time, those little moments, whether they be, 5 minutes or 5 hours, can make all the difference between, a good day and a bad day. So embrace the tranquility when you can. Make time for that quiet time, that safe space. And of course, get ready for some kind of harvest, whether you're going to harvest some pumpkin spice lattes or whether you're going to, harvest a new vision and a new vow for the upcoming season, new goals. You know, we talked the other day and it's come out today. Create a vision board that represents your success and the qualities that will get you there. Embracing your personal power, acknowledging that spirit is always there with you, asking them for help. I mean, in reality, let's think about it. What could it hurt? You know, you either get a yes or a no, but either way, you still get to, you know, you may not get to collect $200, but you still get to pass go type thing. I possess the qualities needed to be extremely successful. And also, it's important to really kind of analyze what success is for you. Success means different things for different people. You know, for some people, success is measured by financial stability. For some people, success is measured by how big of a family they can have. You know, fill in the blank for whatever rocks your boat. All right, let's get a couple forest spirits. Sticking with the nature theme, really. Last time we got kindred spirits, magic pixies, those people that we talked about earlier that come into our lives that are there to teach us something or to help us understand that we're not alone, or have you ever had somebody come into your life that just like restores your faith in humanity? Like just out of nowhere, you just meet this random person, and whether it's the reciprocation, whether it's just the energy that they emit, whatever it is, it just makes you feel a little better about the world. Man, those are great people. Be good to them. Love them, cherish them, appreciate them. Whoever they are and whatever role they play in your life, appreciate them. And also appreciate the fact that you are that for other people. Going back to the self-forgiveness. You know, it's easy for us to see that good and that positivity in other people, but sometimes it's really hard for us to acknowledge it in ourselves. And, I'm not saying be prideful or, boast, but give yourself a pat on the back that, you didn't turn into a piece of garbage. Because we all have that choice. A lot of people use their trauma and their unfortunate life experiences as an excuse to be crappy people. And that's not fair, because a lot of us have been traumatized throughout our lives and we still choose to love. Anyways, I hope you choose to love. Not only yourself, but others as well. It's all about balance. You can't pour from an empty cup. But if you're constantly pouring it into other people, then it's going to be empty and you're not going to have any left for yourself. I know that's a saying that's as old as time, but I don't think any of these cards are going to come out. So we're moving on. I don't even know how long I've been sitting there shuffling, but it felt like a long time. So, moving on. Let's go with the Dream deck. And then we'll move on to some of the bigger decks. We saw Mountains, Temple, Friends, and Boat. The last time we pulled from this one. Whoa. I about dropped that whole deck just then. That would have been awful. Sometimes it's scary to love other people. Yes, it is. But in all honesty, we all have valid reasons why it's scary. Like, we could probably start talking about that topic and not need to talk about anything else. Everybody has a heartbreak story that gives them every valid reason to be afraid, to trust, and to love other people. But, and this is a lesson that it was really hard for me to learn, and it took my heart getting hurt so many times before I finally learned it. When we do good, when we love other people, when we share our energy, our time, our effort, whatever, with other people, do it knowing in your heart that that you will never get it back. You you know, I've gotten to where I even do it when people ask me to borrow money. Like, if somebody asks me to borrow money, we'll just use this as an example. Before, like, used to, back in my younger years when I wasn't so smart, I wouldn't even think twice. If I had it, I would give it. I would not even pause for a second to think, hey, is there something that I need to discern about this situation? Whether I need that money for something else, or what is this person? Who is this person? Why are they asking me for blah, blah, blah? No, I wouldn't even think twice about it. But now I stop. And I'm like, I don't just run to my wallet and get the money and hand it to them. I'll be like, let me get back with me later today or something like that. And then I take the time to really think about it, process it, maybe even pray about it. Because, of course, I'm not a wealthy person, so most of my money I need. But in some cases, somebody else's need is bigger than mine. But when I finally make the decision, the ultimate deciding factor is, if I give them this money 2 or 3 weeks from now, am I going to be so broke that I'm going to be texting them saying, do you have that money you owe me? No. If the answer to that question is yes, then I'm not going to give it to them, because obviously I need it more than they do. But 9 times out of 10, the answer is no, and I can give it to them in full confidence, knowing that I'm not going to get it back, and that's okay. And you can apply that not only to money, but time, energy, effort, because it all is valuable. So that's the way I prevent myself from getting hurt. I help a handsome man. 4K goes to me. Oh, yeah. I was ready to give my job and resign myself. Oh, wow. I hope and you didn't. And if you didn't, I'm glad you didn't. Yeah, man, you got to be careful. There's snakes everywhere. And for me, it's been coming up in conversation quite a bit here lately about how you never really know somebody. You can live with somebody for 20 years, and if there's a side of them that they don't want you to know, you're not going to know it. People are good at that. All right, we got desert. The desert symbolizes solitude and the process of purification. Shut up. Purity and tranquility. Solitude and purification. What? Confirmation. Embracing those moments when you can. We got gemstone on the bottom of the deck. Gemstone symbolizes rarity, value, and untapped potential. And then we have book. Book symbolizes wisdom and knowledge. Wow. That untapped potential. That light that we're afraid to let shine. Because we're afraid we're going to be judged. We're afraid we're going to be talked about. We're going to be mocked. We're going to be accused. We're going to get hurt. We're going to get mistreated, whatever the case may be. We've gotten comfortable in the solitude. But we're meant to shine. There's nothing wrong with that. Going back to what I said earlier, it's all about balance. I am not the type of person that enjoys being in the spotlight. I enjoy getting attention from certain people, places, and situations. But they have to be people or situations that I'm comfortable in and with. The desert symbolizes solitude and the process of purification. It is a barren landscape that holds deep wisdom. If the desert appears in your dream, it suggests a time of emotional dryness or a sense of loss. However, this is not negative. It's a necessary process of clearing space within for new energy. The desert calls you to shed what no longer serves you, embrace solitude, and make space for renewal. Out with the old, in with the new. Tossing out the scraps, getting ready for the new harvest. You know? Getting rid of the leftover harvest that did not serve you. Going back to the drawing board, referencing the vision board from the mini affirmation, like going back to the drawing board when it comes to goals, tasks, skills. You know, what new skills have you learned along the way? What new skills would you like to learn? Going back to the loving and embracing and healing the inner child. You know, what's something that you've always wanted to learn how to do and you never have? I have so many, like my list is so long. Play the ukulele, learn how to use a sewing machine. I mean, my list goes on and on. But, you know, pick one of those things and maybe give it a try. You know, the least expensive of the things. That's usually what I go with. Because don't get me wrong, I've had my moments where, you know, I just go and drop $300 on some new hobby and, you know, I don't even crack the seals. So, yeah, lesson learned on that stuff too. All right, gemstone. Gemstones symbolize rarity, value, and untapped potential. Dreaming of gemstones indicates a connection with a precious part of yourself. Wisdom, creativity, or spiritual strength that you may not fully understand yet. Gems represent treasures gained through experience and growth, inviting you to explore these hidden resources for deeper insights and personal power. Bam. Double confirmation on the personal power. Remembering that if you want it bad enough, you can make it happen. Become more detailed in your visualization. Like maybe not, you know, starting from scratch, but like build on to what you already have and like just become more detailed about it. Like instead of just saying, I want a house, like start designing the house in your head. You know, like how many different sections do you want? How many bedrooms? Where do you want the bedrooms? What do you want the layout to be? Do you want a wraparound porch? Do you want a basement? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like get detailed about it. All right. And then book. Book symbolizes wisdom and knowledge. Dreaming of a book suggests you're entering a period of learning and growth. The pages represent life's chapters, with unopened pages indicating unexplored potential. This dream encourages you to remain open minded, seek knowledge, and embrace new experiences to deepen your understanding. So you could even go so far as to say harvesting the lessons that you've learned this season, harvesting the knowledge, what's worth holding on to, what's worth dismissing. What do you want to learn more about? What areas do you want to expand your knowledge? What seed, like planning the next steps, planning your future crop? Like, what seeds do you want to have next year? Planning ahead. See what I'm saying? Like, about the details? Like, yeah, you want to have a garden next year, but what exactly are you going to have in that garden? When are you going to start the seeds for said garden? Are you going to have a greenhouse? Are you going to plant them in the ground? Are you going to do raised beds? Are you going to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, get detailed about it. Like, I want a partner that wants to work together and play together. I want a car that can shine up like a gym, but can also go mudding on the back roads. You get what I'm saying? Okay, enough examples. Let's go to the Namaste deck. I keep forgetting it's over here. The Stress Less deck. We could all use a little less stress, and we can all use more healthy and creative ways of dealing with and alleviating our stress. Hence, the quiet time, the tranquility, the purification. Cleansing not only your external space, but your internal temple. We did see temple from the dream deck last go around. And you know, we did talk about detoxing and how a true detox is not something that you can just, you know, take a pill or take a tincture or tonic and it's going to get rid of it in a day. That's not how a true detox works. Whether it's a literal physical detox, a spiritual, emotional, whatever. Give your mind a treat. Notice how sometimes you crave pizza and ice cream. When your tummy wants something it loves, you tend to give in and indulge it. Let your mind have a treat as well. What? Where do your thoughts drift to when you think of happiness? Shut up. I can't make it up, bro. What is it that would put a huge smile on your face? Invoke those thoughts for 8 minutes. Let your mind fantasize. This exercise can release good hormones and have a positive effect. Oh, excuse me. Confirmation on your body. Wow. I made chalk art collection. Now I'm blocked. What? Chalk art collection. Drawing board, get paper. Oh, you got injured on July 2nd? My bad. I missed a bunch of stuff that you're putting. Sorry. I'm glad you're here. And did you just say you got a ukulele? I got a ukulele, packed it. You packed it up. Man, learning how to play the ukulele, 111:05 on the timer when I looked. Uh, Learning the ukulele when my son, the last time I ever saw him in person, he was in school and they were going to be learning how to play the ukulele in school. And I wanted that to be something that me and him could do together, like, over video chat and stuff, which it didn't work out that way, which I think that's where, like, a fear, an emotional trauma per se, that prevents me from doing it. 111:44 on the timer, and then there's 4 as far as 4 viewing and 4 likes. So, yeah, give your mind a treat. Let your mind fantasize. What is it that would put a huge smile on your face? So, kind of going back to what we were talking about before, that dream home, that dream job, that dream relationship, that whatever it is, that dream garden. Get detailed about it. Like, really, really, really build like a detailed picture in your mind. The more detail you give spirit, the better your outcome is going to be. You know? All right. Sip break. Watermelon juice. Sorry I can't share. I totally would if I could. This is the first time I've ever made it. It turned out yummy, delicious. I'm probably going to have a sticky ring on my table by the time I'm done, but that is okay. It's worth it. I can clean it up. All right, let's see. Let's do an Archangel Spirit Oracle, if I can get to it. And we'll do a Wandering Heart as well. Let's move this. Matthew 5:14. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Another message that came across my feed yesterday was you were cloaked. That's all the girl kept saying was she had a candle and she was looking into the candle and she just kept saying you were cloaked. So, take that, with a grain of salt, however you want. Depending on what perspective you look at that, you view that statement from, it could have several different meanings. Anything from, God having you cloaked in spirit, to being covered in the armor. And I don't know why, but that just made me think of the song Dolly Parton, Coat of Many Colors. Wow. Okay, so in that song, it talks about how they were poor growing up, but that they were still happy. And the mom made her a coat out of a bunch of different small squares of fabric, going back to the scripture where it talked about the poor and the meek and the brokenhearted. Definitely go read that scripture, Matthew chapter 5. Read the whole chapter. Heck, read the whole sermon. I think the sermon goes like all the way through chapter 9 or something like that. I want to play that song now. Dolly Parton, Coat of Many Colors. If that is Archangel Michael, what? Nope. Okay. Azrael. I saw the blue and I thought it was going to be Michael again. We got Sariel on the top of the deck. Look, there's Michael showing his face. What? And there's number 2 under him. All right, and then we got Uriel on the top of the deck. That makes the 3rd time Michael has showed out. All right, let's go ahead and read his message, seeing as he's backing everybody else. Release your fears. You are safe and protected. You are in a time when you need a little more courage. Know that I am with you, shielding you from any perceived danger. All right. Michael is 23. Azrael, which is what flipped out, is number 22. So once again, number synchronicities, 22 and 23. I can't remember what deck it was that we had that same number combo the other day. Emotional expression. Her message. You are naturally intuitive and deeply sensitive. Acknowledge and trust your emotions as they can act as a powerful compass. What were we talking about earlier about trusting your gut? About when you get that off feeling, listen to it. All right, and then we got Uriel, number 6. You put them together, 6 and 1, that makes 7. We talked about 7 earlier. 7, to forgive. Wow. There it is. Remember, we saw forgiveness with the wild offering or affirmations. And we got Matthew scripture. In scripture, when Matthew and Peter go to Jesus about their quarrel, he tells Peter to forgive 77 times 7. Okay. Uriel, salvation. Let go of anger and wow. Wow. Let go of anger and unforgiveness, and let my flame of love illuminate your heart. I can help free you from emotional pain. If you do not know the right words to say, call upon me and I will speak through your heart. Salvation. Wow. Full circle moment right there. All right, and then we got Dark Night of the Soul looming in the background here. Although you may feel like you have abandoned hope, abandon yourself not. You are being cracked open to reveal your depths. Treasures await you on the other side of this deep initiation. Wow, and look. 77, awakening. Going through an awakening process. It never ends. The awakening, there's always another level. There's always another step. There's always more to learn. All right, now we will get a Wandering Heart Oracle. And actually, Instead of the Wandering Heart, let's do the Herbal Astrology. And then we'll do a Mary Magdalene and we'll call it. Where are we at? 1:21:18 on the timer. I feel fiercely being protected by the universe to the point that may end up hurting with their lessons. Man, it always feels that way. It really does. And that's why it's important to be able to not only trust yourself, but to be able to remind yourself that you possess the qualities in order to succeed. Break down the problem into small solutions. Instead of trying to solve the problem all at one time, break it down into smaller problems and see if that helps. Whether that's an internal or an external problem. All right, Herbal Astrology Oracle. That's too many. We're not going to keep all those, but we will acknowledge them. 18, Leadership. 32, Completion. 36, Foresight. And 28, Wisdom. Wow, and that one just fell on the floor. What is that? Wealth. All right, let's try again. Just one, please. These have really long messages, so I'm not trying to read more than one. Really? There we go. Thank you. Right. Okay. 20, Lavender, the Weaver. Oh, I guess I could show you the pictures, huh? My bad. And then 47, Skullcap, Stillness. I've been hearing a lot about Skullcap lately. Think I'm going to order some and give them a shot. Then we got Valerian, number 44, Acceptance. Valerian root is used very often as a sleep aid. Can also help with anxiety. Same thing with all of these now that I'm looking at them. Lavender, Skullcap, and Valerian are all known for helping with anxiety, helping with sleep. You've also got Calendula, number 1, Purity. Look at that. Purity. Purify. Purity and tranquility. That's triple confirmation on the purity, on the purification. Purifying your body, mind, and soul. And then number 37, Enchantment. There's a unicorn on this card. And 34, Shape Shifting. There's a dragonfly here. There's 2 women. They don't have mermaid tails, but they kind of look like they're swimming like mermaids. And we got mermaids the other day. I can't remember which card it was now, but it had mermaids in it. All right, let's see. Let's shuffle a few more times, and let's see if we can get just one. I love this deck, but the messages are very long. But very informative and educational. Rose, number 12, Love, flew out during the shuffle. All right. Love. What the crap? St. John's wort, echinacea. Let's see. Destiny, radiance, surrender, and intuition. Blue lotus. I've been seeing a lot about blue lotus here lately too. There we go. What? 31, cannabis, detachment. We got skull cap on the bottom of the deck when it came out. And we got higher consciousness on the top of the deck. And nettle in the middle. Action. All right, cannabis, detachment, number 31. Detachment, deep contemplation, freedom from pain and body, inner calm and immunity. Astrological ruler, Saturn and Neptune. Cannabis is one of the oldest known psychotropic herbs. I almost said drugs. Herbs. The first recorded use of cannabis is from 8000 BC in an ancient village in Taiwan, where indigenous groups used hemp fibers in their fabrics, pottery, rope, and even their shoes, not relying on animal skins or even silk for clothing. In 4000 BC, in the Chinese village, hemp was considered to be one of the 5 grains of China, and thus a major food crop. In 2737 BC, hemp was recognized for its ability to treat over 100 medical issues, including gout, malaria, and rheumatism. The medical use of marijuana features heavily in Hindu religious texts. The Vedas, for example, written between 2000 BC and 1400 BC, cannabis was considered a sacrament of Shiva, described as a source of happiness, a joy giver, and a bringer of freedom that was compassionately given to humans by the gods to relieve them of anxiety and help them achieve delight as well as fearlessness. Cannabis's many uses fall mostly under Saturn and Neptune's rulership, with a strong Piscean undertone, since it is a musculoskeletal relaxant, anti-inflammatory, and pain reliever. Is a great ally for those seeking to soften the rough edges of Saturn's impact. Its mood-enhancing, anti-anxiety, anti-inflammatory, and psychotropic properties belong to the realms of Neptune and therefore Pisces. The guidance. Saturn is said to be the lord of time and space, the lord of karma, although often called the Great Maleficent. Saturn is much more than what we experience in third-dimensional reality. The time-space continuum is a system that encompasses third-dimensional reality as we know it, said to be ruled by Saturn. Yet the transcendence of this reality is freedom from Saturn, depicted by its polarity, Neptune. When the angels of time and space are respected, they bless us with freedom and the ability to transcend the cycles of pain and body. If you feel restless, anxious, trapped in your own body, or have trouble sleeping, cannabis is here to remind you to cultivate inner calm. Breathe deeply, go for a walk in nature, immerse yourself in meditation, take naps, and creatively cultivate practices that soften the unsettled aspects of your being. Don't succumb to quick fix solutions when it comes to decompressing, as it often leads to self neglect and disassociation. Tune deeply into the energies of this ancient ally and learn to transcend the cycles of self induced pain. Wow. Self induced pain. Those reoccurring thoughts, those people, places, things, thought patterns, you know, negative ways of thinking. Now is a good time to, maybe kind of going back to what we talked about before, evaluate where you stand when it comes to certain things that you've been working on. Are you beating around the bush? Are you forgetting something? Are you missing something? Are you leaving something out? Are you stuck in the same place? Evaluating. Oh my goodness. Evaluating your progress. Going back to what we talked about earlier about like revamping your vision board. All right, let's get a Mary Magdalene and then we'll call it. 1:32:32 on the timer when I looked. Really, going back to the desert card and what we just read from the cannabis card, embracing the solitude. Don't let loneliness get the better of you. Use that time and energy in creative ways. Embracing, healing, loving your inner child, loving on yourself. We are coming into winter. It's just right around the corner. We saw snowflakes and autumn equinox. So, winter will be here before we know it. A time of hibernation, a time of reflection, a time of planning. Mary, Mary, full of grace, what advice can you give us today? Mary Magdalene was a teacher. She was a healer. She was an inspiration to a lot of women of her time. And she continues to be one. We may not get a Mary card today. Okay. That's 2 decks that's happened with today. I mean, it's just proof. The proof is in the pudding, bro. All right, so maybe we'll try from the believe in yourself. Oh, look, there was still a card out. Surrender. I am in good hands. Yes, you are in good hands. As long as your soul is in the hands of the Father, you're doing good. We all make mistakes. We all have lessons to learn. We all have, mountains to climb. All right, believe in your own magic oracle. Stars. You can manifest your every wish. There it is. It's time for you to take your goals and turn them into your reality. Create that dream board. Wish on those shooting stars. Write in a daily manifestation journal. Cast a small or large spell. The universe is waiting to give you exactly what you want and exactly what you deserve, given that it's best for everyone involved. Keep in mind that you also need to believe that you deserve it. That's totally full circle. We talked about that at the beginning of the video. Believing that you are worthy. No, believing that your worth does not come from other people. It does not come from your possessions. Your soul has value. Your energy has value. Your time has value. Cherish it. Value it. Protect it. Make sure you get it. Make sure that you get how valuable it really is. Because if you don't see your own worth and your own value, you're going to give it away for free. And then you're not going to have any left for yourself. I am the only me I've got. So I'm going to speak lovingly to myself from sunup to sunup. That means extra compliments. Hold the critical anxiety spirals. You look better than average. You sure can make a lemon square. Wow, you're good at compliments. Pay yourself a compliment. Pay somebody else a compliment. Share the love. Where is the love? Who is that? Black Eyed Peas? That being said, be grateful for what you have. The big, the small, and the blessings yet to come. If you see a need out there today, tomorrow, next week, if there's any possible way that you can fill that need, please do so. You may not only better their day, you could possibly change their life, and you never know the impact it could have on yours. Be blessed, find peace, have a great day, and I'll see you next time.